Cases of teachers and university students being cheated out of their money have of late been on the rise and in the news. Those termed as victims of these corrupt rackets have simple motives to finally get a job to qualify for an important exam. But where does one draw the line between an unsuspecting victim and a knowing culprit if the willingness to take the shortcut is what the scam cartels thrive on? A question of integrity that our very own Natalie Beck went out to seek answers to.
Integrity is defined as the practice of being honest and showing a consistent and an uncompromising adherence to strong moral and ethical principles and values. Recent headlines of corruption scandals and defrauding cartels make it seem as though integrity is something we as Kenyans have lost, an assumption that Dr. Kennedy Ongaro, Professor of Sociology at Daystar University, does not refute. According to him, the problem is deeply embedded in our society.
The same behavior will be transferred from the parents to the family members, and therefore it becomes a way of life, and that's what we call social disorder. For example, if you have a son or a daughter and it drives back one evening a vehicle, a car costing 3 million shillings, and your son or daughter is earning a salary of 50,000, the question is, where do they get the money from?
This means accountability for moral behavior does not begin in high levels of administration and government, but within one's own four walls. But do Kenyans on the street share this view?
I think there's hope. We've not lost our moral values, but it has to start with the nuclear family, and it has to start with you and me.
Itadepende vile sasa unaona vile unaweza jiokoa, sababu hauna option. Kusema tena kufungwa nayo huwezi kubali ufungwe. Unaona kama uko na do unatoa tu hongo.
Everybody has been taught to believe that for you to make it you have to actually cheat. That's the messed up generation. I know it's a messed up way of thinking, but sadly that has been the norm. It has already been adopted.
The Kenyan Bribery Act is clear on who is to be held accountable. Both the receiver and the giver of the bribe are culpable under the law, no matter the magnitude of the deal.
Petty corruption in this country, what I need to say, can be equally destructive as what we call the grand corruption. And this is what is perpetuated by people, on a day-to-day basis in government offices, public hospitals, in schools. For instance, you see the police, the 50 bob that is given out on the roads, that looks like small corruption. Now you begin to see the amount of money that is changing hands is colossal amounts of money. According to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, in terms of this so-called petty corruption, fake certificates are the biggest plague, making up for around 70% of investigations in the category of unethical conduct. We need to urge Kenyans that they need to speak out, because if we all spoke out against this device, and we all said no to corruption, because actually it starts with ourselves, it starts with you, it starts with me. Dr. Ongaro, on the other hand, emphasizes that we also need those who serve as role models to be held accountable.
What we need to do is that let us move from empty talks to ensure that these fellows, even when they are arrested, it's no longer breaking news. Let it be that the breaking news should be that the High Court has found so and so culpable, and they have jailed him for 20 years, and the resources that he or she had embezzled should actually be taken back.
Dorcas Wangira, Citizen TV.